Pisces, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. How's everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in, for sharing some time with me. Let's do this. Today we're going to talk about your recent past, your current energies, and the immediate future for the rest of the month of April. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Pisces. Let's see what's going on. We'll do one quick shuffle. Hope you're having a great week. All right, let's see. Ooh, let's take them all. I think we have 4 that came out. Ooh, we've got some cards, 2 cards that no one's gotten so far. This is a shorter, smaller deck, but this is really nice energy. I feel like you are, wow. This is fascinating. You are going through a deep divine communion with universal forces. I feel like you're coming out of some sort of illusion. I'm getting a higher energy here where you're communicating with your higher being. You're coming out of the illusion of separation here. You're going through a profound transformation. I saw 111. So you are at a new beginning point. And you see how it's almost like the hand of God is reaching out to your consciousness and you're awakening. A lot of the zodiac signs that I've been reading for so far are going through the push-pull of connections that are no longer serving, so you can actually step into a higher energy. I think we've all been contending with some sort of problematic person, relationship this year, whether it's, we'll just call it a loved one, right? That could be anybody, a loved one. And there's something, though, beyond that you're stepping into, that you're feeling, sensing, moving through, and it is divine consciousness and almost like the lightning rod of awakening. I mean, this is Isis flying in. It's almost like the divine feminine and the divine masculine are awakening within you to a new elevated state of being, Pisces. You could be having deep communications in your dreams, astral travel, weird memories, waking up, weird sensations in your body. And this is the path of ascension, and almost like a lightning rod shift. Like, this is Pisces before this week, and this is Pisces after this week. And I really do think a lot of us are going into these powerful energetic shifts in our frequencies at this time after contending with difficult relational patterns and learning and growing and evolving. I'm seeing that you're evolving out of any kind of separation consciousness into more unity consciousness, and the almost rising above, like a phoenix rising beyond the pain body into a deeper state. I mean, you're almost like this, it's a transmutation effect where you're taking whatever you have had to deal with energetically and you're shifting it into a greater vibration. This is unbelievable, really. I mean, this is Isis energy for sure. She is the resurrection of the divine feminine on this planet. And so, I mean, you could feel like you have a major calling coming alive in you to champion women's rights, to champion divine feminine wisdom, whether you're male or female. It's like you believe in the nurturing and the softening, but also the fierce compassion as well for the divine feminine energy, the wise woman. Yeah. Whether you have a wise woman in your life or you are a wise woman, this is honoring of the sacred feminine. Wow. Okay. Getting a lot from that. Let's go in. Which one are we using? Yeah. Interestingly enough, they want me to use more of a masculine deck, maybe to balance out all this divine feminine. But look at this. I mean, look at the look on her face. It's very serene. She's at peace. And look at all of the destruction. It's almost like despite all of the problems on the planet, you're seeing the meaning behind it all, underneath it all. And you're gaining true wisdom. This is ancient wisdom rising up within you. You could feel like you're connecting in a very profound way, Pisces, with your higher self at this time. Is something shifting, almost like foundationally in your life. The light is turning on. The light is turning on, Jenna. What is happening? I'm coming out of the illusionary state of 3D reality. And a lot of us we're realizing, wow, it's not a permanent state, right? It's fluid. And I think your desire is to consistently operate from higher consciousness. And what does that require? A lot. It does. It's progressive, right? It's gradual. And then one day you wake up, you're like, whoa, I'm actually a better version of myself. And I'm operating from that place. All right, let's see what's going on. This is big energy, Pisces. But we have, I want to say there's a lot of planets in Pisces, specifically Neptune. So this is really deeply in the divine feminine. Isis energy is all high priestess energy, sacred feminine. So you could feel like you're awakening to new senses, even a deepening of the senses. Food tastes different. The world looks different. You hear things differently. It's like your whole body is going through an upgrade. Oh my God. And I didn't even notice the high priestess. Whoa, just as before I pulled that, I wasn't even looking at the card and I felt the high priestess energy. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to go bigger than this. It's funny because see, tarot, you can go into the mundane, you can go into the practical, right? And or you can go into the high. And you're like highest of high here because I feel it. Your energy is, whew. It's almost like you have now awakened to your own sacred feminine through the ending of something that was in your life for a long time. 6 of Cups. And you know what? This is almost you. You're ending some sort of long-standing separation between you and your inner being, and also an honoring of your inner child. You have actually been putting an end to anything that is taking you away from your sacred feminine or the beautiful, innocent inner child within you. And also, I think that you're laying the past to rest in a very, let it burn. Not in a hateful way, just more an alchemizing way. I mean, this is your recent past. We had the High Priestess to the 6 of Cups to the 10 of Swords. This is intense energy, you all. I mean, we have nostalgia, past memories, your childhood, your inner child wounds. And then we have the 10 of Swords. I've gone through so much. You're looking at things on a holistic level right now, where you're looking at the alchemy of you making peace with your past, laying something to rest, an honoring of the sacred within you. And what does that do? It brings you back to your innocence. What's that? Remember that Sacred Spirit? I believe it was it came out in the 90s, and it was called Return to Innocence. Was it? Actually, no, it was Enigma. Remember Enigma? Oh my God. If y'all want to, this is the energy. It's a return to innocence, Pisces. I'm hearing, the Native American chant. Wow. Oh, wow. I have to pull this all out. This is massive, Pisces. Whoa. Oh my God. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I mean, the energies are so intense. Pisces. This is intense. Wow. Okay. Oh, I love it. Wow. Okay, Pisces. I don't know what's going on for you all, but you are awakening to such a massive energy frequency. We have the Queen of Wands overshadowing this whole reading. Who got this? Was it Gemini? Divine feminine, sacred feminine. Hear me roar, right? Fire. This is she walks into a room and she's fierce and she's wah, a lot of women that are making their imprint on this planet are in their sacred feminine and their fire. It's almost like some sort of fire has gotten lit in the past through some sort of ending. And you're alchemizing that in such a beautiful way because I'm seeing this profound. You have new abilities that are coming in right now. that you never thought you'd have. Currently, you're headed straight for more divine feminine energy. What can I say? The divine feminine's everywhere. You look in this reading. We have in the current energy the Six of Swords, the Empress, and the Four of Wands. You're grounding in a new reality. You're grounding in a new frequency of the divine feminine. Oh my gosh. This is like inner priestess, like awakening to the gifts of magic, connecting with other lifetimes, parallel realities, where you are an ascended being and you're accessing energy frequencies at this point because you've elevated beyond the polarity, the duality of good versus bad, right? Wrong versus right. There's a place above it, and Isis is taking you there, above all of the carnage, right? Of the polarities. And what I see here is I do believe you're working on integration, the embodiment of the divine feminine. There is a massive glow up going on in your life right now, Pisces, where you are moving straight for a nurturing of everything that you hold dear in your life. Some of you are getting married, going to the next level, buying a home for yourself. Some of you are having families. This is beautiful. And if none of that's happened yet, you're headed, this is your next chapter. I feel like I'm getting a preview of like the evolution of your soul and what you've had to deal with and how that's over now. And you shifting into like, it's like you've arrived. It doesn't mean you're not going to have strife, because I see there's a massive awakening going on here. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Ten of Wands. Some sort of like phoenix rising is going on within you out of something that has got to stop happening in your life. I mean, when I have the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords in one reading, you're going through a powerful shift in the energy frequency of laying some burden to rest. And what does that do when you say, I've had enough of polarity, I've had enough of me versus you, I've had enough, I'm rising above it all. You actually, it's almost like you're not controlling your destiny, but you're stepping into your highest timeline and your destined timeline. It's like the evolution of a soul is this, where we learn, right, from pain. And you're saying, I'm actually quite surprised because I'm actually learning from being in a higher energy. And it's something is bringing you so much confidence. It's divine consciousness and the lightning rod of that. Some of you might have these beautiful divine downloads going on over Easter, Passover. You're glowing up big time. Let's get a frequency. Delight. I'll tell you, what did I say? Your senses are coming alive. Goodness. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. It's almost like your very frequency when you walk into a room is lighting up people. You're going through some sort of rite of passage overall. Okay, Four Wands is a rite of passage where now you're being crowned in your Empress energy and you have a fire in your belly to go after something, and there's some profound changes. You're dropping some heavy burden of like being, it's almost like you were in a direction that you needed to be in for a while to learn. And now you've graduated from that. Something is happening to the entire collective in the month of April, that we are shifting out of an old paradigm into the new paradigm. And the new paradigm is elevated frequencies of consciousness. And there are people, I'm telling you, if you feel like you have a calling to use your voice, to take your fire energy and actually do something about it, you're hearing it. You are hearing it loud and clear. Now I have to go to a feminine deck. I cannot wait to clarify, because I cannot believe all these majors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 majors. And we have the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, and the Empress. I mean, I'm not really seeing anybody around you. I'm seeing you elevate And you needed this time to take this time to elevate. Let's see, though. Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords. Oh, my God. There's powerful movement forward. Justice. Two of Swords. The Fool. Wow. You are in a brand new beginning where actually I feel like you didn't even realize that you were in a brand new beginning. This is one of those subtle beginnings where maybe you had an ending. It doesn't feel like the ending was really recent. You've been going through this profound glow up. It's like the more you've moved away from something and deepened into your own intuition, the more you're actually going towards a deep level of divine feminine energy. It's almost like it's part of your growth process here. I can't even begin to, I'm having a hard time articulating what I'm feeling in this reading because it's that big. More majors here. So this is a major shift in your consciousness where you are actually moving quickly towards internal and external balance through almost like, it's like you've lived your life seeing the world one way. Then you go through this really like this fated ending and you start to shift in your frequency and then you see the world in a different way. You're rising above the ashes of something. And out of that alchemical transmutation, you elevate and you have all of this energy. Like we're talking a massive amount of passion and motivation to bring more justice to this planet, to bring more balance to this planet, to help remove the blindfold from other people's eyes, and to take that risk. It's almost like you're helping people trust fall into making profound changes in themselves. I see now that you've gone through this is what happens. You go through this process individually, and then you help the collective because you're now, this is the elevation of consciousness. You're showing me, Pisces, you're like, I'll go first. It's all right. I'll volunteer. I'll go first. I'm getting goosebumps. I'll go first. And maybe you're going through a process that people didn't even realize. It's called ego death. It's called a dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul, folks. What does it do? You go into the void. And then now you pierce through the veil. And you have new sight, new senses. And then you take that and you deepen them into the divine feminine. You go through a whole new shift in your stability because of that. This is all self. Then you start to take these delights into the world. And you're shifting. It's like you're a paradigm shifter, Pisces. You are a paradigm shifter because you became shifted by a paradigm shift in your life. Now you're shifting other people's paradigms. Oh my God. You're like, this is like one of the best readings I've seen as far as being a change agent. Change maker. I mean, this is trailblazing energy. Look at that. Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords. Follow me. I know the way. I've carved a path. I've gone down this. There is a deep groove. I know this path. The path was revealed to me. Let me help you. This is leadership. Divine feminine leadership. Mysticism. Helping people with their karmic journeys. You're living out your calling, Pisces. This is beautiful. This is touching my soul because this is not any energy that's easy to embody or to live. Like this lifetime is very important for your soul's evolution because you've now reached a certain level and now you're helping people. You're helping people. You're so lit up. Oh my God, now with Ace of Wands, so lit up. I don't think we even need to talk about your dark night of the soul. Been there, done that. You've learned from it. You've now graduated and elevated so where you can go there if you want. You can choose that experience again if you want. But see, now you can discern. That's the work of the spiritual warrior. You can discern now. Ooh, this is going to be more karma, right? Do I want to go into that pool? No. I'm going to go into the pool of peace and equanimity, fairness, and nurturing because that's my stability. You've moved into these calm shores after this dark night of the soul, and you're finding more peace within. And I think that you're way showing that to the people around you and the people you come into contact with in your family and in your work. I want to clarify this, Empress. Nurturing of the self. Interesting. That Two of Cups is sideways. I think I know what you're doing. Yeah. I know exactly what you're doing. You're like, romantic union? I'm kind of in love with myself right now. Thank you very much. I do see it. I see it. But, you know, you're still getting over an ending. This was underneath it. It was hiding underneath it. That's interesting. With the Ten of Swords here. You've had some sort of fated ending. You've needed time in transition. You're moving more towards stability in your own divine feminine energy. Love can wait. Because right now you are lit up on the path and you're lighting other people's paths and you're rooted and grounded in your divine mission. It's almost like you had to go through a painful ending or maybe many painful endings for you to alchemize that. And it's out of pain, your divine calling was born. I mean, it's as clear as day. You're very hopeful about finding love and having love, summoning love to you in the future. But it seems to me your real passion right now is nurturing of the self, maintaining a peaceful internal state, and helping other people. You're nurturing a lot of people right now. But I feel like you're like, you know what? I'm still working through rising out of that frequency. It's almost like give yourself a little bit more time. You've got some fated changes coming in. You may actually have love coming towards you that could be a surprise that you're like, oh, I wasn't planning on this. I am getting a lot of you are headed towards something that maybe you don't see coming because you've been elevating. Huh. Interesting. I don't want to go into this. Let's just clarify. I mean, Wheel and Tower, this is like energy you can't really help but have. I mean, like, oh, wow. We have the World, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Wands. Wow, you're giving yourself so much time and energy to just navigate life, come what may, centered. Pisces, this is a massive reading. I don't think I've ever had a reading like this, quite like this for you. You're literally in control of your destiny at this time. And you're deepening in a very powerful frequency. And I mean, the Three of Wands is a beautiful energy of community, of waiting for that perfect wave and saying, you know what, I'm going to trust myself enough to know when to catch that wave, when to jump on my board. Because you're like, right now you're busy wrapping up a cycle that it was almost like it was fated. I think you had some sort of fated love that ended. You went into a dark night of the soul. You awakened on your path through the nurturing of self, elevated. Now you're in your divine calling and you're in love with it. You're in love with your divine calling, Pisces. And now you're stepping into a new journey where it's now all about self-trust. That was why you even had the dark night of the soul, to move into the frequency of delight on your path after feeling a lot of pain. And also the frequency of trust, self-trust. You're trusting yourself as hard as it's been. You're trusting the divine and the powerful awakening shifts. It's like when we look at the past and we go, that effing hurt. But I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gone through that. And you're like, that's when you can practice self-forgiveness and self-trust and self-love. And Pisces, that's where you are. Holy Trinity, body, mind, spirit is in alignment now. And if you have an energy come towards you that's like, you're gonna give yourself a minute to determine whether you want. It's like you're conscious now. You are conscious now. And I think maybe you made decisions unconsciously in the past that led to some endings, but you're looking at them with eyes of forgiveness and understanding. This is truly the elevation of the soul and the evolution of a path that has been divinely guided all along. And I think once you awaken to that part of yourself, it's beautiful. Let's get into this Chariot energy. I feel dizzy from this. I don't know if y'all are feeling dizzy. I've been feeling dizzy for days. There is something profoundly shifting on the planet this time. The energy's coming in. But I think it's because a lot of the collective has been going through this alchemy. Turning pain into power, right? Glowing up, honoring the divine feminine within them. Nurturing self, nurturing others, creating stability in self, not another. You're not giving your power away anymore, Pisces. Willpower, confidence, intuition. You tapped into your divine feminine intuition. The Chariot is your divine masculine intuition. Being led and guided, trusting. The High Priestess. Oh my God. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Cups. Wow. You now learned how to protect your energy. You now know that there are boundaries that must be erected because your peace matters. Your energy frequency matters. Everyone's learning this right now. It's like, you know what? I put up with a lot of shit in the past, but I'm not doing that no more because my peace matters. And I'm going to be led and guided by my third eye now. You're going to see energies come toward you much sooner than when they even arrive. That's true knowing. This is like gnosis. This is true knowing. Self-knowledge on the path comes down to personal mastery, where you start to learn your patterns and you start to shift and elevate out of those patterns. And then you can now you have elevated out of an old paradigm. And I'll tell you what, we have double High Priestess here with the Chariot. So you go boldly in the direction of your greatest desires and protect your energy. Protect it because you have a deeply divine feminine spiritual essence. And now you realize that it's sacred. And don't let just anybody take that, okay? Don't let just anybody in. There's something around you now honoring that in you by saying, I have healthy boundaries now. And you're going from the Ten of Wands of seeing things, seeing change as a heavy burden, not realizing that once you practice self-mastery, you welcome change because it just deepens you. I love this because you're trusting yourself. That's the biggest message I'm getting from your reading is self-trust. And once you have that, that's all you need. Self-love, self-trust, self-acceptance. And you're showing me the path that you've taken to get there. Pisces, this is a beautiful, we'll say it's a galvanizing force that you have now alchemized from pain to power. And I've never seen it at this level so clearly. This is a massive cycle you're wrapping up. It's almost like night and day of where you were to where you find yourself. We'll get these 3-1 to come out. Time to let go. You're trusting the divine. You're trusting the divine feminine within you, which is bigger than your avatar, this life's avatar. This is when we basically say spirit lead the way. And there's a lot of the collective doing that right now because of the path that you've been on in your soul's evolution. We have groundhog spirit, time to let go. We have badger spirit, which is be fearless and bold, which you are. I mean, we have there's a lot speeding up in your life right now around everything. But I do think that when it comes to love, you're really doing a lot of self-love right now. And you're 2 of Cups sideways. I feel like that's not something that you know it's going to come when it comes. But right now, you're going towards the personal fulfillment of your actual third eye awakening and you focusing more on your intuition and your sacred priestess power. That's what it is. priestess power. The high priestess is allowing those higher forces of light to come in and you elevate in them. Oh my God, you have the scarab beetle. Magic works through you. Be fearless and bold. You've let go of an old paradigm. You've shifted out of a painful cycle. You're going through a powerful glow up. You're moving forward. You're coming out of any kind of illusion of separation. You're coming into divine balance in your karma. You're wrapping up a cycle that's taken quite a bit of time for you to trust an ending, to let go of a burden, to trust the wheel, to whatever it brings you, knowing that you are led and guided by your intuition, your high priestess, inner priestess power. Taking a leap of faith. When we trust the divine trusts in us. And it's a co-partnership. And I feel like you've got that now. And nothing can take that away from you. All life is a journey from our avatar to our higher self. And it's this frequency band. We have 3D, right? 3D reality, this avatar. Then we have 60, 70, 80, higher self. And I think now we're realizing, oh, it's not a fixed state. But do you want to operate over here? Or do you want to operate over here? And you're saying, ooh, I've been journeying here all my life. And now I'm at a certain frequency and I'm not going backward. Predominantly, you'll go visit, you'll say hi. It's like, sometimes I wonder about this planet and like, you know, higher beings, they come just to visit as a vacation, just to go, well, I'm glad I'm not on that planet right now. People who come to this planet at this time are very brave because this is where we have spiritual amnesia. But if all life is a sacred act of returning to the light of the Creator, what a grand journey it is. And you're showing me that. This has been a powerful reading, Pisces. Thank you. Y'all have gotten me psyched up. 52 goes into number 7. Why am I not surprised? You could be 777 all day long over the next 2 weeks because that is the spiritual frequency of self-mastery. 52. Let's go to 52. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic. A scarab beetle spirit reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary, seemingly out of thin air. Whenever you let your creativity flow through you, scarab beetle spirit reminds you that spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old, for spirit co-creates with you. What is talking about? A co-partnership. Channeling energy through you so that you can feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now is a time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. Wow. Magic is working through you. Magic is working through you. For you. You are being divinely guided on the path. You got to trust yourself. You're headed towards emotional fulfillment because you have learned how to put up healthy boundaries. Trust in yourself. So beautiful. What a beautiful reading. You be fearless and bold. Ooh, look at that. OMG. Pisces. Oh my God. This is so rare. Emperor, Empress came out. What I tell you, you've elevated out of separation. This is the integration of your divine feminine, divine masculine. A lot of you are so in your divine feminine. You've learned how to nurture. Now you're going to switch into your power out in the world and light up in your work, your divine calling. This is integration, but spoiler alert, we have the Knight of Cups. A lot of you have reached alignment and you're calling in a divine union. It looks like it could very well be during Leo season. We have strength, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups over the Emperor and the Empress. You showed up in the Empress here. Y'all are heading straight for what could very well be a sacred union. A sacred union. I must say that. A sacred union, because now you're honoring self. Oh, I feel emotional because this is You see the truth of your path. And this is also for you moving through life with your heart open, with clarity of sight, psychic sight, being fearless and bold on the path, in harmony with the aspects of yourself now that you're no longer at war against. When we're at war against our divine feminine, we're not honoring self. When we're at war with our divine masculine, we are actually trying to control outcomes, control situations. You are transitioning. This is almost complete because you're wrapping up this cycle. You are transitioning to healthy divine masculine and divine feminine out of wounded divine masculine and feminine. But what you don't see coming is that this is calling in someone of the same. That's what you've wanted all along, right? Don't you want to elevate? Oh my God, this is what's happening on the planet, Pisces. For those of you who are really calling in a higher level commitment and a higher level evolved soul, you're like, I'm not playing small anymore. I don't want karmic contracts. I want divine union, and I'm fine if I have to be single for the next 5 years. You're saying you want an elevated contract where you're both in your personal power, in balance on both sides of self. And a lot of people right now are holding off. They've been alone for a while, in solitude and quietude, elevating quietly. And then you burst out into the scene with your divine calling, and then your sacred partnership comes in. Some of you are saying, I don't want sacred partnership, romantic. I'm fine on my own. I'm in balance with myself, and I get so much joy out of all of my partnerships around me. Others of you are like, I'm calling in the person that I'm meant to be with in the evolution of my soul in this new paradigm. This is powerful alchemy, okay? You are working magic. This is magic working through you, Pisces. I have never had a reading like this, and I'm so psyched for you because you better take in the delights of this pathway. You denied something in the past, and it led to a huge glow up. And now you're on the high timeline. You are. And the high timeline is full of emotional fulfillment, boundary protected energy, clarity, and courage. You have clarity and courage to go after the things you want. And you got a love offer coming in. I do believe a lot of you are calling love in Pisces season. So get ready, okay? Go through this glow up. Keep honoring self. All right. Take care. Namaste. God.